Hey, I'm here in my creative space in Brisbane, Australia. This is where I do all my recording from home, basically. It's a small shack that I built myself, and I can hop in here any time of day or night and crank up the amp and get some cool tones. So my background in terms of guitar, probably my first guitar hero was Joe Satriani, and then moving from there, I listened from everything from Guns N' Roses to Metallica, and probably some of my most favourite bands today are guys like Deftones, Rage Against the Machine, Meshuggah, Tesseract, Periphery, those kind of bands. And there's a lot of great metal bands out there, especially from Sweden, where I was born. Today we're going to be talking about how to get a good tone out of an amp through your amp, and also how to record that tone. And also how to apply even plugins to get a good tone out of your guitar recordings. So the main amps that I use are a JCM 800, quite an old school amp, and a more modern amp called the Agnator Tweaker 88. These two are slightly different in their tone. They're loud, that's what I like about those two amps. For the type of metal I like writing, they really complement the guitar that I use, which is a Carbon 7-string guitar. Even on other guitars that I have, like a Gibson SG, they sound great through that guitar as well. So the first thing I think is important is the signal chain of your guitar through to your pedals and into your amp. I normally plug my guitar straight into the amp to see if I can get a great tone. And later then I can add pedals to enhance the tone, change the tone a bit. But as long as you know that your guitar sounds great in your amp, then you're starting at a good point. If not, then you're probably going to have to look at something different, like a better guitar or a different amp, a better amp, that kind of stuff. There's so much online, like YouTube, to check out your favorite bands, what gear they do, rig rundowns, even product videos of demo guys doing stuff on guitars, effects, amps. So there's so much out there. Just go down that rabbit hole and learn how to get your favorite sound. Now with guitar effects pedals, it all comes down to personal choice in terms of tone, depending on what kind of pedal you're using. You might want to boost the sound or the signal or the distortion of your amp signal, or you might want to add some delays or some pitch shifting. There's so many different ways to go about pedals. It all just depends on what you're trying to achieve, but certainly you can achieve it with all the pedals that are out there. So I do a lot of amp recording, so I need to make sure that my mics are placed really well. And you don't actually have to have expensive microphones or preamps to get great tones. The classic SM57 is probably the most used guitar recording mic, and it does translate in metal. Another cheap mic that I have is an MXL 440R, and it does a different job to the SM57, but I like recording those in tandem, so that when it comes down to mix down, I can choose a combination of both or one or the other when I listen back. So I also obviously have the amplifier box, so I'll place the microphone, get a sound, record it, listen back. I might need to adjust it, so I just hop in, take the lid off, adjust it, get back in there, and it's not a slow process, it's quite quick. So you may have seen a mic further back from an amplifier recording more of an ambient tone. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily common in metal, but if you're going to be recording more of an ambient tone or some clean parts that you need more of a room or a big wider sound that's not so tight, that would probably work really well. It's definitely worth trying out these different techniques. So recording is definitely a different environment to playing live. Playing live, you can hear your amp signal right in front of you, under your feet, in real time. Whereas when you're recording, especially if you have an amp in a different room, or like my situation, I've got it in a cabinet ISO box, is that you might experience some latency. And that's basically the computer processing how quickly the signal gets to the speakers. And these things can be changed in your preferences on your computer, and that way then you're going to actually play to the click track or the drum track in time and that you won't have issues in that sense. A lot of the hardware these days, like the Steinberg stuff, have a direct monitoring knob where you can basically switch it to all the way to your direct sound. And obviously if you're recording to a backing track, you can then mix between what you're hearing in the backing track and what you're playing, so that it's all nice and tight and in time. An advantage with recording on software these days is that you can multi-track one guitar part many times to build a wall of sound. It's really fun to do. It's really fun to hear back and see how massive your guitar sound can be with multi-tracking. In metal music, it's common to use different time signatures, and in Cubase you can actually set up your click track to run in different time signatures, changing from verse to chorus. Wherever in the song, wherever you decide to place a different time signature, you can do that. With the time signature track, you can also change the accents to anything that you want, which could help in a drummer getting the right accents or the timing of something that you've written. And in Cubase, you can use Groove Agent to pull in all the different patterns that you want to basically be able to jam over the top, and it's professional sounding. It sounds like a real drummer's playing it.